Greetings and salutations, everyone. We're going to take another crack at the Chronoscope raid as part of our Road Least Taken video series here. I just tried and failed doing it on Reaper 1. We just didn't quite have the healing necessary for the level. I think I mentioned this a second ago on the previous attempt at this video, but I feel like if we were one level higher and could fire off heal scrolls, we probably would have been in much better shape. Much better shape. Alright, let's see. We talked about various buffs that we could be firing off. I will be using my greater heroism potions. I did use and will be using lasting elixirs of supreme ability. It's hit points, damage, saving throws, etc. So I like them. A lot of these came from back when you can get them in the daily dice rolls, but I will right on Front Street. I have bought them while they're on sale. And I like to start over here on this side with the casters.
Alright, boys. Tremus's orders are to kill the squid face and anyone else left here.
Also, they will neg level you, so you want to have that under control. And then when you can, or if you can, you want to try to cast your AoEs around the archers, so the archers are also picked up, and that they make relatively useful hook points for your AoE spells. The other thing I like to do is I like to go ahead and clear the trash out before I work on the big bad guy. I feel like the chip-in damage is much less, and it increases my survivability significantly if I only have to worry about the one thing to dodge as opposed to having many things to dodge. So a pack of things chipping in on you will overall do a whole lot more damage to you than having one big guy swinging at you generally.
The Mind Flayer struggles to its feet.
Alright. Here on not Reaper mode, we're actually getting 8 points of healing out of our tasty hams as opposed to 3, which is a significant difference. Alright, in this quest zone, in this bar in particular, there's a couple of vendors that you may or may not want to check out. Not just for the items that they have available for you in the quest, you know, like various potions of good stuff here, but also they have flame touch weapons for sale, which make really good crafting blanks if you're looking for a flame touch, like longsword, for example, or rapier, or scimitar, or whatever. In this case, I'm going to pick up a few more stacks of flame touched iron bolts. How you kind of use those while you have other things going on is put the flame touched bolts or whatever bolts you're looking for in the earliest available tab, and then move your other bolts pretty far back. So what they'll do is they'll get used from the first position forward. So when you get to the point where you're using your big stacks of 100, you know they've already gone through all the other ones that you purchased. The other thing to keep in mind is that there are shrines in the various bars. So there's like one over here. There's one in the next bar that we'll be going to, etc., etc. So if you need a shrine, there's lots of shrines available. Alright, right up here, we're going to start having the possibility of getting fireballed. So you want to have your anti-fireball stuff running, whatever that may be. If it's just a fire shield scrolls, if it's protection from fire, you know, you've got all sorts of options at your disposal. I'll tell you right now, things are way different between Reaper and Elite. Alright, this Abishai's on us, so we're gonna have to knock out this Abishai. Alright. I am not going to be doing optionals on this run. I really feel like if you're looking for optionals, try to get yourself in a group. If you're soloing things like I tend to, especially for raids, you don't want to be going out of your way to get yourself in dangerous opportunities. That's just how I feel about it. Alright, we're going to do our best to avoid any trash mobs that that may or may not engage on us. If we have to take some out, we have to. Otherwise, we're going to do our absolute best to just kind of avoid everything here. We're going to go into the Phoenix Tavern. Run to the back. Ooh, look at there. One of the guys teleported with us. Nice. If this is the time and place that you want to have those guys come at us. Not only do we happen to have the shrine right there, but also guys that can't teleport can't get to us. That's actually quite strong.
Do not attack. One of them sneers at you.
Master Tremus is
That's Nat Gan behind the barrier. The
Alright,
devils
advance
appear
this
to be
quest.
interrogating him about something. The evil Tremus begins laying down his demands for Nelgan's life.
You will go to the Bank of Kundarak.
I feel like that jumping around at the very least was way better than our previous take at it. Of course, you could watch live if you were watching us live at twitch.tv/SamiusGrovo. We'd love to have you. Of course, you can also watch the VODs there as well as on YouTube. So hopefully you guys are getting all the Samus you possibly need. Alright, I am not going to clear out this stuff. I'm going to worry about it later. Instead, we're going to jump in here and try to knock this fight out. Refresh our buffs. This guy's going to get nasty.
Metal plates directly onto a huge devil. It sees you and bellows, "This bank is closed. Leave or your lives will be withdrawn."
I don't know how many waves we're going to have now. When we were in here just a little bit ago, he had 1,500 hit points, and we were not hitting him for very much on Reaper 1, so we'll have to check and see. There's the armorer, the scary guy here. Redisplacement, I mean. Already worried. Armor down. Should be another one somewhere. Yeah, he's still got 1,500 hit points, so it might still take us a minute to chew him down, but much less than it was going to take previously, for sure. Yeah, we probably also want to change to shocking. It's not taking any cold damage. Devil. We're going to slam a heal. We're going to slam one of these. We'll go ahead and switch to shocking. We are using our astral projector because not very many things are immune to evil damage. And then we're going to work on casters first. And we're going to work on the armors. Anybody that we can hold down, we're going to cold down. Big guy has joined the fray, so around on their own here. We do want to be really careful to take a little bit extra care to try not to get pinned. We also did get pinned in our previous take of the quest here. That was really bad. Right, cleaning up trash. Let's focus on blood plates. Fortunately, we're not on Reaper mode, so we can't fire off the increased double shot, but we can make sure that we have our Know the Angels running. Wherever we can scoop down a tasty ham is great for us. Any extra regeneration is good. Again, casters first. Don't worry about the armors. I think it's a relatively common tactic for most groups. The only difference is that we're alone. We don't have 11 other people to kind of help bolster our DPS. Alright, on blood plates. Most of these guys we should be able to dodge around. It's really blood plate that's going to be the issue until he runs off again. Speaking of which, in 2.5 runs so far, he's about half, so it might take us a minute. I was a little worried about how long it's going to take for us to shoot him here. We don't have, you know, like fuselage. We don't have our double strike because we're not in Reaper mode. It's just our damage straight up. Oh yeah, great. That was real nice. I'll take that for sure. Alright, there's the caster. I think he'll take damage now. He's passing away. Mimic cloak doing work. Seconds left on our angles, so our DPS is about as good as it can get, as long as we don't let him get blocked here. 5,000 hit points to go. What are we doing? Let's call it 50 plus 11 plus 5 plus 5? 2,000. We may not run away anymore. We may have got him now. Nope, I was wrong. He ran away. And there's that chip-in damage causing us problems. Spellcaster down, Spellcaster number 2 down. We did already take out a armor, so that's good. Go. Got blood plate down. Clean up the devil. It's good. Alright, so now we have an opportunity to shrine. Not a minute too soon, actually. In fact, before we actually sleep, I think we want to make sure we're a little bit closer on the healing. There we go. Now we should definitely be in the window to be topped off. Alright, fat loot, please. That wasn't that fat.
You have the deposit box key. Now, to return to the Phoenix Tavern and trade it for Nelgan's life.
Alright, we need to be prepared in case the mobs outside are aggroed on us, and they very well could be. I like to... Yeah, there you are. I like to shield block whenever entering a new zone, just to kind of like be on the safe side in case, you know, maybe they are looking the other direction. I try not to move until I know that what's going on, just in case. A lot of times monsters won't notice you until you move. Stuff like that. Guess that means we get to loot this mailbox now. All your letters belong to me. Yeah. Right, story mode engaged.
Samius eagerly takes the key and unlocks the deposit box.
At last,
A lot of
I
like
have
sitting
it.
here and waiting
The
now.
weapon that I travel back in time for. The sliver of time. Now, to keep my bargain, I shall return Nelgan to you as a dying old woman.
Ah, that's better. Now that I have stolen her youth for myself, I'm headed for the market tent, where I shall kill General Suleimanis with the sliver of time and become the new leader of the Devil Army! Clinging to the last threads of life, Nell wheezes out.
My only hope
Alright.
is the 12.
So now we're going to
Leave me
go
and bring
back to
back
that dimensional door in the previous tavern.
Quickly.
If you had D-Door,
I
now's
can
like the
still
best
stay
way to get back there without having to worry about fighting things. However, I don't have D-Door because I don't have that many wizard levels. So instead, I'm just going to invis potion and run back through basically the same way that we ran through previously. Except we're going to go just a little bit more around this ladder, this direction. But then otherwise, like I said, we'll basically going to retrace our steps backwards. While we're here, we're going to take a second and get a rough idea. We may have to pick up even more bolts. We have
Whatever
two
the
more
devils are
kind of
doing
big
in the
fights to
market
deal
tent
with.
Is manifesting void. The sliver of time must be destroyed in order to save
Be
Nell.
sure to always get
But
your
it's
aid.
somewhere in the market tent. Vahir has opened up a
Always
secret
get your
way for
free
you to
aids.
get
Alright,
there through the steam tunnels.
yeah, I think we go ahead and pick up another 500. I don't want to run out. I don't mind if I'm throwing a little bit of money away when the quest is over by just throwing these all in the dumpster, but I just don't want to. I don't want to run out if I can help it. I want to have the best weapon I possibly can for killing things that are susceptible to the damage.
Only hours ago, Devil Legions moved through the steam tunnels in an attempt to flank the 12. At least some of them are still
I'm also
here.
going to turn on
You
my
see a grotesque
rune
orc
arm here.
captain below, sporting a large repeating crossbow on his arm.
Activate this and then come back up to the top. This guy's got roughly the same amount of damage as Bloodplate did. The difference is that one, we get to basically stand still and fire off our rune arm. We will have to worry about trash, but trash is generally not as big of a deal, in my opinion, in this quest as it is in the other one. We'll jump up here, we will have to back up and do some slaying. Yeah, we generally just need to stay on Razor Arm as much as possible here. Come on up here. Come on all the way up. You know you want to. Again, being in the situation where you can use your rune arm versus not use your rune arm when you have it is huge. Like, look at that. We're doing an extra 300 points of damage every 5 seconds. If you were to say to somebody that, hey, you could have a weapon proc that every 3 to 5 seconds you're going to do an extra 250 damage. Most people are going to eat that up. Most people are going to go cray-cray. For the added work of having to hit the space bar. Or the... Nope, not the button. Having to hit shift. Having to hit the shift key. That's what the button is called. Clean up the trash here. Alright, there we go. We should be in good shape now to head to the infight. We'll shrine if they'll let us, but we may or may not be able to shrine here. Alright. We're having some issues here with getting the healing to trigger off. I'm not sure why. But we'll let it go. Alright. What are we gonna get? Nothing. Sweet. Just what we wanted. Okay, so in here we're going to have a little bit of time to fiddle around. Alright, we got him doing stuff, so we're gonna grab our rubble. There's also a place where you can pick up an awful lot of breakables in the quest. Don't know if it's enough to get the bonus. Never actually really worried about getting the breakable bonus in this area before, but I know it is a thing. I also know that you can kind of hide back here in this corner, and it reduces the amount of the likelihood monsters can get on both sides. But I don't know if that's the strategy we're going to take today. Did we not get this started? There we go. What's that? I feel like we got this party started. Okay, I like doing Squall first, mostly because he will disappear and come back again, so in my opinion, I might as well get that guy done. Because otherwise I'll knock him down later, and then what, knock him down again? That's not what I'm about. I have to wait around. If he's the last guy for me to knock down, that's not what I want. Oh, my ear and my eye are super itchy all of a sudden. Alright, this guy will take a second and stand here and zap. Oh yeah, that's the ticket. Oh, eargasm. Alright, apologies. Sometimes you just gotta get in there and wreck that ear. Really wreck it. Woo! Pardon the woo noise there. Fortunately, it does happen. We're on one of the busier streets in town. Right, this Abishai, you kind of want to keep an eye out for elemental damage you may or may not be doing to it. Depending on which form it's in, things can get squirrely. I typically just don't worry about it, but I know some people get pretty adamant. Being sure to hit, like, when it's in fire mode, hitting it with a cold spell to help knock down something, some bonus that it gets. I don't know, I'm not going to pretend that I know. I'm mostly just going to run in a circle and shoot this thing anyway. So this is the third monster that we're fighting that has 1,500-ish hit points. Again, it's not super bad. The challenge is going to be when the trash mobs spawn in as well. Dealing with trash and this guy together could be problematic. Here's the first one. Now it's changed forms. Now it's what? An electric form? No, acid form now. Definitely not doing as much damage because of the trash mobs are acting like a wall. So we need to kind of get ahead of the trash mobs to be able to continue to get it. The trash mobs are about to slow down to the point where they essentially lapped us because we are going so much quicker than they are. Tripping is bad. I don't want to be tripped. Alright, it's back to the cold Abishai. That we can do something about. Or sorry, back to the fire Abishai so we can deal with cold. There's the words. Shot altogether. Alright, we had better stop and throw a heal. Overran. Let's go ahead and drink our little potion and throw a thing. Little potions do heal over time, which is pretty nice. Even if they're not huge heal over times, even a little extra heal over time is good. Oh, switch forms on us again. Stop it. Alright, it's at 3,000 points. 2,000. $1,000 and change. Alright, and dead. Here we go, we did it. Look at us. Alright, something important. Just because this quest is done now, do not go AFK. Anything that's inside this building, when this building explodes, by the way, this building's going to explode, is dead. You do not want to be in here. You're going to have a very brief window where a portal will spawn right here. You can click on. Also, you can take a D-door. D-door is also a great way to get out of this quest. And I don't have a D-door scroll on me. But that's a lack of planning on my part. I should have brought one.
The sliver of time shattered.
Otherwise, we get to watch this sweet little dialogue. Sully is gonna eat this guy real bad.
No mercy, my lord Sulamanis.
I think I shall take you back to Shara and have you brought to the question.
Alright.
With Sulamanis' departure, the
There's our window. The window to teleport out. And then if we're very quick, right, and I do mean very quick, we get to watch the tent explode in epic fashion. Very similar to how the marketplace exploded years and years and years ago. Very similar. Get rid of that. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Stop it. There we go. Wait, do I gotta talk to somebody, actually? Yeah, sorry. Never mind. We have to report to this dude first. But it is very common for the first person to get up here to speak to them. And there were some people on the hardcore server who passed because they didn't get out of this tent. It sucked. The tent! Something is happening! You know, I actually wish now that when this marketplace tent really exploded the first time that I had taken the time to stream or recorded this, because I don't think it's exactly the same. But it's the closest thing we have. Right, because I didn't do the optionals, I only get one chest here, but that's fine. Ooh, a Scorched Bracers. Look at me go. High five, self. Self 5. Alright, well that was Chronoscope. I'm sorry we couldn't knock it out on Elite, but as you can tell, we even on, or sorry, we couldn't knock it out on a Reaper. Even on Elite though, we kind of struggled in a lot of places, so it is a tough raid to solo on your own, especially at level here, level 8. But with a little bit of thinking about it and a little bit of practice, you too can solo that raid. Everybody, as always, if you have any questions, comments, etc., please use the chat box below. Also, while you're there, do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. It really does help with the various YouTube shenanigans. I appreciate it. Otherwise, we'll see you guys soon. Toodles.